Wibta if I spoke to my in-laws directly about wanting their help more with our kids? My husband, 32M, and I, 34F, have two children ages almost 2, 21 months, and 4 months. Naturally, this is a difficult and challenging season of our life. Any parent would understand that we are surviving, not necessarily thriving. My in-laws sold their home 3.5 hours away and purchased a home 1.5 hours away under the veil of being closer to us to be more actively involved grandparents to our two children. Since they have moved, we do not see them any more than we did when they lived 3.5 hours away. This breaks my husband's heart. Added, they decided to move on their own accord, and told us for months it was because they wanted to be closer to us, which was wonderful to hear, and we were excited for them to be closer for things like grandparents reading day at daycare or for being there Christmas Day with our kids. I encourage him to ask them directly to come visit, to come over 6 days we are free, and encourage him to set up a plan with them so they know we are wanting some help. 2 under 2 has certainly been taxing, and especially the last few weeks, toddler tantrums, upside down face. I have asked my husband to be more direct and tell his parents we need some help and a break. He instead takes the passive approach of saying if you're free and wanna come visit we'd love to see you. Instead of a direct we need help, can you come over? The in-laws have not taken him up on his offers to come visit. My husband is of the opinion that if they wanted to come see their grandkids, they would, so he will not beg or nag. Which I don't disagree with. However, we are all at the end of our ropes and some extra hands to help with the baby and entertain the toddler would be really wonderful. Wibta if I spoke to my in-laws directly about us wanting their help more. Additional context, we have both had several mental breakdowns in the last few weeks from overstress, frustration, and exhaustion. My family lives 1,500 miles away. We could hire a sitter, or a doula. But this is enmeshed with my husband's desire for his parents to be more actively involved in our kids' lives. Edited to add, we are certainly not hoping for someone else to raise our kids. We are also not asking them to come over and babysit. We are asking them to come spend time and maybe feed the baby for us while we tackle some chores or play cars with the toddler so he gets some more one-to-one attention. Edited, we are not looking for a babysitter, nor is our intent to leave them with our kids and we leave to go do our own thing away from the home. We are hoping/asking for them to come join us in our crazy on a Saturday for a few hours. Our kids are in daycare during the week and we both work full-time. We are not looking for childcare solutions. Just a little relief from the crazy on a Saturday now and then. I also am asking mostly because my husband wants to have his family help and is heartbroken and don't and to help more. We can totally hire someone, easily. I am asking how, or if, it is appropriate for me to tell them directly that we would like their involvement, specifically. AITA for only taking my well-behaved nieces and nephews to the water park? I have a lot of siblings and dozens of nieces and nephews. It isn't strange that I pick them up and take them out. I'm pretty trusted with the kids, so as long as I let their parents know, it's never a problem. The issue, some of my siblings' kids behave better than others and I tend not to invite badly behaved kids. I'm a one-man band and I just don't have the time to keep saying the same things over and over and being talked back to and disrespected. Yesterday, I decided to take the kids to a water park. I called a couple siblings and got the okay to take their kids. 6 kids total between the ages of 8 and 13. Ages are important here because it's important to me to bring kids that meet the height requirements for all the rides. If I take smaller kids, they'd be relegated to the kiddie section, making it impossible for me to keep an eye on the older ones. So we go and it's great. All the kids got along and played well together. I get to the house and my sister-in-law was there talking to my other sister-in-law and was waiting for me to get back. She asked why I don't ever call to take her kids, 4M, 7M. Out and I reminded her that I did. In April I took them to a splash pad and the 4-year-old was horrible. He was pushing kids out of the way, he bit a child, he hits both kids and adults, he slapped a plate of pizza out of my hand because he didn't want to take a break and eat. He curses, he spits, he pees himself on purpose. I could go on and on. I decided that I just wasn't taking him out again without one of his parents. I told them both this and they understood but hasn't been available to join us the last couple times I suggested something. I explained that behavior matters to me and is a deciding factor in who and how many I take out. I'm told this isn't fair and I am picking favorites. I said my favorites are the kids with manners who can behave. I was called intolerable and reminded that their son is 4, so of course he isn't going to be an angel. I agreed, but insisted I still have the right to choose who I can go out with. The conversation didn't quite have an ending as it was almost 2 a.m. and I was tired from a long-ass day. Now this morning, I get a freaking group FaceTime by the Sil from last night and a couple others wondering why I never take their kids out. I explained and it's now a war. They're pissed cause they insist I shouldn't have favorites and my brother said that he's going to reach out to my parents because it's unfair to punish their kids because they don't behave all the time. Another thing mentioned was that I punish well-behaved kids for the actions of their siblings. The 4-year-old has a 7-year-old brother who behaves. But I knew that if I asked to take one and not the other, it would raise hell, so I invite neither. Please tell me if I'm the asshole here? AITA for locking my BF out of the bathroom in the mornings? I, F39, had been with my BF, M42, for a little under 2 years. About 6 months ago, his lease was up and we decided that he would move in with me. Previous to this, we had spent nights at each other's places and there were no issues with bathroom habits. My BF gets up about 30 minutes before me and goes to the ensuite bathroom to do his thing. No biggie. Except that he has the most malodorous bowel movements I've ever had the displeasure of smelling. The sounds of him intermittently shitting out doom nuggets are equally as bad. Mind you, I worked as an EMT for years, so I'm not a squeamish or fussy person at all. I love a good poop joke/story. The smell of his shit lingers for a good 15 to 20 minutes afterward, the stank cloud mite is nearly visible, and you can taste it on top of everything. It makes showering or getting ready in the morning a horrible experience, and I have yet to find any spray to mask or get rid of the smell. Here is the issue: he refuses to shut the bathroom door, or walk an additional 10 feet to go to the family bath and hallway to do the dirty deed. If he did either of those things, the smell/sound would not wake me up and I would not be starting each morning feeling sick and angry at the method of my wake up. He says that he is not really awake when goes into the bathroom and thus cannot be expected to remember to shut the door. I think he is full of metaphorical and real bullshit as remembers to grab his phone and bottle of water off the bedside table as he goes in, and then spends a good 20 minutes sitting there scrolling through the morning news. He could shut the door at any point during this process. After weeks of us going back and forth, I hit my breaking point this last Wednesday. I went to the store and bought a new doorknob for the bathroom that has a key lock and replaced it. It is my house, after all. He goes to bed before me, so after I got ready for bed I shut and locked the bathroom door. Come that next morning, he got out of bed, could not get into the bathroom, yelled at me about it being locked, and then went into the family bath to poop. Problem solved. I didn't have to deal with his shit, was able to enjoy my shower for the first time in months, and he still could follow his bathroom routine. It was a win for both of us. Later that night, we got into a massive fight about me locking the door. He called me controlling and unfair, among other things. He said that I had no right to lock him out of the bathroom as he also pays rent. I told him that it was still my house, he has the capacity to remember to shut the bathroom door and turn on the vent in mornings, and he was being an asshole for not doing so after I had requested it for so many months. AITA? TLDR, my BF has the smelliest/loudest shits and wakes me up each morning because he won't shut the bathroom door. I locked him out of the ensuite bathroom, and he then is made to walk about 10 more feet to a different bathroom to poop. AITA for telling my parents I'm not coming back home for the summer? I'm adding this paragraph because I'm seeing a complete misunderstanding about oppositional defiant disorder in my brother in the comments. My brother is not disabled. He doesn't require a carer or a babysitter. My parents let him live there with them, but if they didn't he could live on his own. There is no reason to expect myself or anyone else to care for him in that way. He can be on his own like any other adult. I'm in university, I'm not even 4 months into my first year and I'm happier here than I've ever been. I purposely chose a university that was 4,000 kilometers away from my family. It's about a 5-hour flight or a 2.5-day drive, non-stop, and I would not have it any other way. My brother has oppositional defiant disorder and growing up with him was a nightmare. He had to be removed from school and my mom had to homeschool him because of his behavior. We could never have guests or friends come round to our house, and we couldn't have anything nice or expensive because my brother is so destructive. I grew up without friends because of my brother. My parents lost all their friends and even the neighbors will not have anything to do with my family because of my brother. My grandparents try but they were affected by my brother's behavior as well. Mom had to give up her job. My brother is a nightmare to be around. He has a problem with any kind of authority or rules and cannot handle not being allowed to do whatever he wants. He is in treatment by professionals but it hasn't solved anything. I'm not even 4 months into my first year and I already know I don't want to go back to my parents. I told them I'm not coming back over the summer. I said I will visit for Christmas, but I will stay in a hotel instead of their house, and I will avoid my brother as much as possible. They want me to come back and stay with them for the entire summer, from November to January. After getting a taste of what life is like without the nightmare that is my brother, I'm never going back as long as he is there. My parents are not paying for my uni and they are not financially responsible for me in any way. I'm an adult as well. They have no authority to tell me what to do now. They are really upset with me for saying I'm not coming home for the summer. They are often at their wits' end with my brother, but they still allow him to live with them and to not work or do chores. I thought they would understand why I'm not coming back this summer. However, they are really upset, especially since it's more than 6 months away. I've never had them so upset with me before. I don't know if I'm wrong and it doesn't feel good. AITA for telling my cousin to not bring his 3-year-old kid to a 15-hour road trip to a resort. My cousin, who I am visiting in Mongolia, wants to bring his 3-year-old daughter on a 14-hour road trip to a resort we have booked for 4 people, him, his wife and my wife and I. I really don't want him to bring her because once we get there I want us to be able to hike, horseback riding, and go on a boat, etc. Of course, it can be done, but I am afraid it might feel like babysitting while doing nature activities. Or even worse, we can't do activities we want to do because no one at the resort can stay back and watch her. He has the option to leave his daughter with his mother or mother-in-law but is refusing to do so,